Everybody, to teachers and pupils, welcome to our activity, a joint activity in the frame of an Erasmus project which is called Rigas Ferraios. This project comes together to schools, one of these who initiated this project, High General School number 1 from Kavala, and the school from Romania, Lyceul Tehnologic School from Baicoi. And we are in the last day of this activity, and we hope to have a good time as we had in the previous days. We will have a small show. First of all, an historical show. First of all, will be some communications about the relations between Romanian regions and Ottoman Empire, and we'll continue a communication about the character who gives the name of this project, Rigas Ferraios. It is to be said that he lived at the end of the 18th century, and he was executed by Ottomans for his beliefs in freedom, in the freedom of the Greek people and of the peoples of Balkans in general. And about his character will be a communication, more precisely about his activity in Wallachia, in a Romanian region, Wallachia. And we continue with Rigas Ferraios, a small theatrical representations made by our colleagues from Greece, and then dances, all popular dances from Romania first, and second from Greece. In the beginning, we have two Romanian peoples. Albert and Kavala will present us some aspects regarding the relations between Wallachia first and Ottoman Empire. Please.
Hello everyone, my name is Albert and I'm here with my classmate Radu, and we're gonna show you the key rulers and relations that Wallachia had with the Ottoman Empire. So Wallachia was the name of an old region in Romania. And here we have the timeline of this presentation, and we're gonna start with the 14th century, the Wallachia and the Ottomans. So first time Wallachia appeared in the 14th century was by uniting very small regions that became one big. Here you can see Wallachia in a highlighted color, and the big blue one is the Ottoman Empire near it. The Ottoman Empire expanded toward the Balkans, and the Wallachian rulers had to choose between paying tribute or fighting. Sometimes they used to pay tribute, and sometimes they used to fight. These were the first efforts to defend the Wallachia independence.
Next up we have the 14th to 15th century, Mircea cel Bătrân. He ruled between 1386 and 1418, having one of the longest reigns. He strengthened the country and defended the borders, fought against Sultan Bayezid, first at Rome 1395, and supporting Christian states in the Balkans. He had good strategies while fighting the Ottomans. He always chose swampy and forest area, so the Ottomans can't use their cavalry.
So now we got to the 15th century, where we have Vlad Țepeș. Maybe you heard of him. He is also known as Dracula. He got his nickname from his father because he was one of the participants of the Order of the Dragon. And Drac in Romanian used to mean dragon, so that is where he got his nickname Dracula. Also, he was called the Impaler because his favorite punishment was to put his enemies on stakes. He defended Walachia's independence against the Ottomans, even though many countries in Europe had already fallen. He always used to fight. We have one famous attack, the night attack at Târgoviște in 1462. When Sultan Mehmed II, he was the conqueror of Constantinople, attacked Wallachia with a very big army, but Vlad Țepeș attacked his camp at night and put everything on fire. After that, he got thousands of Ottomans impaled in the forest. We can see here. On the left side is the attack from the night, and on the right is the forest of the impaled.
Next up in the 7th century we have Mihai Viteazu. He is known for his famous victory at the Battle of Călugăreni in 1595. He is the first to unite Wallachia, Transylvania and Moldavia in 1600. This was a short union, but very important for the history of the states. He was assassinated in 1601, being stabbed and decapitated.
Now we get to the early 18th century with the Ferraios. Maybe you heard of him. They ruled Wallachia and Moldavia starting around 1780, and they were chosen by the Ottoman Empire, by the conquerors, not by citizens. And they specifically chose the Greek ones because they were the most loyal and trustworthy to collect taxes and send tributes back to the Ottomans. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you to Albert and Dario. It was a good communication, as it has some wrongs. The first map wasn't so clear, but we become better if we made wrongs too. And now, but I have to say that Romanian regions generally wasn't under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, or only have to pay tribute. Yes. And now the next pupils, please to come here. It is the next pupils, Darius and Eliza. Anna, excuse me, Anna, with the other historical Romanian region, Moldavia. Please.
Hello everyone, I'm Darius and I'm here with Anna, and today I'm going to present you about Moldavian relations with the Ottoman Empire. First, we'll start with historical context. Moldavia was positioned between three great powers, which are Poland, Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. Its strategical position was made Moldavia also a great teammate, partner, and also made it a target for everyone. And between the 15th and 16th centuries, the Ottomans expanded to the north of the Danube river and put pressure on the neighbor states, including Moldavia. Next is going to be the first confrontation.
The first confrontation begins when the Ottomans expand in the Lower Danube area, and Stephen the Great starts the defenses. And by the same rules, the Battle of Vaslui takes place when Moldova wins, and the Ottomans have the greatest defeat of that time.
Now we're going to talk about 8th and 19th century. We're starting from 1711 to 1821, when the Ottomans established the Phanerot rule, bringing Greeks from the Phanerot district of Constantinople to rule. This period meant also increased taxes and corruption, which made Moldavia struggle a little, but it also brings some modernization. In 1821, Tudor Vladimirescu had a revolution in which he ends the Phanerot rule.
Now we're going to talk about the tribute to the Ottomans. When the Ottomans expanded in the Balkan area, Moldovians were forced to pay tribute by cattle, money, and other resources to the Ottomans. Although it was humiliating, it helped Moldova stay on the map.
Anatomy and independence. Moldavia retained its own independence, but it was dependent on the sultans because they had to get approval from them before doing anything. Moldavia princes often had to pay some tribute to the Ottomans to keep their throne, and foreign allies were forbidden without Ottoman approval.
Now we're going to talk about the key moments. We know Stephen the Great fought many battles with the Ottomans and won 44 of them, after which he built churches. And between the 17th and 18th century, the struggle became when the Ottomans had more dominance around the world. And in 1711, Dimitri Cantemir fights with the Russians, with Russia, and fights loses at Stonelești. The Greeks from north dominate over Moldova.
Ottoman influences. Ottoman had a lot of influences which were political, the appointment and announcing of lords by the court. Economic, the Ottomans imposed a monopoly on Moldavian trade and imposed heavy taxes which affected the population. And cultural, Turkish terms entered the language and Oriental practices entered the administration, visible also in corporate life.
And the results of all of these are that Moldova lost its independence and retained its national integrity, and the Ottoman influence took over with pressure from Russia and Hungary. These relations prepared the context for the Union in 1859.
And now, in conclusion, we're going to sum it up and say that Moldova relations with the Ottoman alternate between military confrontation and political compromises. Tribute and independence weakened the country, but the rulers and population kept their independence, managed to preserve.
very much. Emotions are many. We understand you. Don't worry about it. Our viewers, when thought to make these presentations, they choose the most relevant moments in the history of three Romanian regions. Stefan the Great, for example, was the biggest ruler of Moldavia, and for Romanians today is a saint. Is a saint to the church. Stefan the Great and saint. We'll continue with Transylvania, with two other peoples. So please, Andrea and Elisa, to come here to talk us about some aspects of this history of Transylvania and its relations with Ottoman Empire.
The autonomous Principality of Transylvania. In 1541, after
after the conquest of Budapest, Hungary was divided into three parts. The Habsburg Hungary, the part in Eolet under Ottoman control, and the autonomous municipality of Transylvania, a vassal. Transylvania paid tribute, which is an annual amount of money or goods paid by a weaker state to a stronger one as a sign of submission, but retaining some internal autonomy and religious freedom. The Ottomans appeared in our lands after the conquest of the Balkans in the 14th century, conducting campaigns north of the Danube to subdue the region and collect tribute.
For the military impact, the Transylvanian army was sometimes called upon to participate in Ottoman campaigns. Internal conflicts arose between pro-Ottoman and pro-Habsburg factions. In the 17th century, upsprings and armed conflicts occurred in the context of wars between empires, and the defense of Transylvania fortress became essential.
Decline and changes. At the end of the 17th century, the Ottoman Empire entered the period of decline after military defeat. In 683, the failure of the siege of Vienna marked the retreat of Ottoman power. 4 years later, Transylvania came under Habsburg rule, and the vassal ties with the Ottoman court ended. The goal of the anti-Ottoman struggles was to defend the independence and the territory of Romanian principalities. And in 1600, Mihai Viteazul, or Michael the Brave, conquered Transylvania, aiming to unite Moldova, Wallachia, and Transylvania.
The Transylvanian princes played a diplomatic role between two major powers, the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburgs. Gabriel Petrov formed alliance with the Ottoman as well as with European Protestant power, and foreign policy aimed to protect the autonomy and internal stability.
And resistance. In the 16th and 17th centuries, numerous peasant uprisings in Romanian tensions existed between Romanian serfs and Hungarian or Saxon nobles. Occasional collaborations happened with the voivodes of Moldova and Wallachia. Although, despite the discrimination, Romanians remained a continuous presence in Transylvania.
That was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We also thank Nicoleta Baicoi and Simona Goica, the teachers who prepared this papers for today's activity. With Transylvania, we have now the entire context, the political context, in which are located in Romania and Valencia, also Rigas Ferraios. And about this activity, some information will be presented by Alexandra and Diana, and the pupils by now were in the 11th class. Now, in the 12th class. Please.
Hello, my name is Alexandra, and today we are going to talk about Rigas Ferraios. To make a quick introduction, Rigas was one of the most important and representative writers of the Greek Balkans Enlightenment. Through his writing and revolutionary activity, he inspired the entire generation of freedom fighters, and his ideas about justice, equality, and independence profoundly influenced the liberation movement of the people of southwestern Europe. Southwestern Europe is the Balkans now.
So here we have a biography of Laka. His full name was Antonios Kyriasis, known under the pseudonym Rigas Ferraios. Date and the place of birth is 1757 in Velestino, Thessaly, Greece. His death was in June 24 in 1798 in Belgrade, executed by the Ottoman authorities. Rigas studied at the Greek school in Constantinople and became interested in science, philosophy, and literature. Later he settled in Vienna, where he came into contact with the ideas of the French Revolution. About the philosophical and political activity, he developed a project of Democratic Balkans Republic, in which all the people, Greeks, Bulgarians, Serbians, and also Romanians, would like to be free and equal, regardless of the religion and ethnicity. Along the way, he wrote 124 articles in the Constitution, inspired by the French model, which provided for sovereignty of the people, the separation of powers, freedom of speech, and the right of residence against tyranny. So here we have a diagram for Rigas in general municipalities, his contribution to a few places in Romania. First of all is Wallachia, or Țara Românească. Rigas settled for a while in Bucharest, where he found an active cultural environment and connections with the Fanariot lords. He was the secretary of Brâncoveanu. You can see the Brâncoveanu in the left side. Rigas was the secretary in the service of an influential family, the Brâncoveanu family. Brâncoveanu was the lord of the Romanian country between the ages 1688 and 1740. Also, Riga was to Craiova. Rigas refuge there and continued his activity, when his contribution to the Balkans liberation movement was not military but intellectual and more. Through his visionary thinking, he managed to transform the dream of freedom into a common idea for the Balkans people. Therefore, he is considered the spiritual hero of the Balkan liberation. He also was a secretary of the Maghroghen. There you can see Maghroghen. In the 1780s, Rigas was worked as secretary in the Fanariot administration of Wallachia, exactly during the region of Nicolae Maghroghen, between the years 1786 and 1790s. Although Rigas did not participate directly in Second Russo-Turkish War between 1787 and 1792, he carefully studied the conflict political consequences. Regarding Rigas' role in the Russo-Turkish War, it was not a military one, but an ideological and strategic one. He analyzed the conflict to understand how an uprising of the Balkan peoples could be triggered. The war confirmed to him that the Ottoman Empire was vulnerable, which is why between the years 1791 and 1797, Rigas drafted the Revolutionary Manifesto, Furious the End of the Call to Arms, the map of the Balkans which outlined the future federation liberated from Ottoman rule. And then we have a bibliography where we provide our informations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone, to the viewers, to everyone for your attention. And with this communication, we introduced, we could say, the second part of the program, who will be entirely dedicated to Rigas Ferraios. I would like to invite our friends and colleagues from Greece to involve on this scene. Please.
Rome. Ready to sacrifice everything for freedom, he works with all his might towards his purpose. In his work Harda, he depicts his vision on the liberation of all the enslaved in the Balkans, of all who were persecuted from the power of the Sultan and the Pasas, but also from all the rich and the oppressors, regardless of nationality. Afterwards emerges the song of uprising against rulers. Rigas is the angel of revolution. He prints a collection of patriotic anthems which people memorized since copying them at that time was difficult.
Rigas path is the path of the awakened Romanians. It is the road that ends to Odessa, to Bucharest, and from there to Vienna, to Europe, to the very heart of the world. Rigas arrives in Bucharest in order to prepare the revolution. There, he finds friends and comrades. With Rigas as their very soul and inspirer, they create a society that is meant to embrace everyone in Bucharest, in the enslaved homeland, in Russia, in Vienna, everywhere. Yet, as the plan passed, it was not long before the joy of came. The Austrian police is informed of their plans, and soon the arrest of Festi follows. Rigas tries to take his own life, but he fails. Wounded, he is handed over to the Ottoman authorities by the Austrians and to the place of the slaughter in Berlin. In a cowardly manner, under the cover of the night, they executed Rigas and his companions in the downtown of the Nevosa Tower prison by strangulation. Their lifeless bodies were cast into the Danube River. Thus ended the brave Rigas and 7 of his convicts. The calendar marked June 11, 1798.
How long, brave youths, shall we endure in mountain layers, alone like lions, wandering the ridges and the heights? Far better one brief hour of freedom's breath than 40 years in chains, exiled shells. Now we're going to sing for you a part of Rigas' song revolution, the famous blues.
Thank you.
The small theatrical representation will be a few moments. We heard, as your colleague said, a small part of the human of the revolution in Greece, 1821, who began here in Romania, in Iași, and continued from 1821 almost 100 years until where Rome Greece were liberated. And the theatrical representation with Rigas Ferraios himself. Rigas Ferraios before being executed in Belgrade. And now the fourth part of the program with dances. First of all, Romanian dances, but first of all, to see these costumes. And please, Diana, to present them.
Hi, my name is Diana. people were making themselves from white cotton. This ear is stitched with black and red thread, and is enabled with a lot of decorative motifs. We have the gold sequins and metallic thread. This costume in 2022 was registered in the UNESCO Intangible Culture Heritage of Humanity. Then this costume has the red belt, which was traditionally sewn by hand by the old ladies. Then we have the photo, this one right here, which is the wrap around the skirt, and is also sewn by hand at a loom. Loom being a traditional Romanian sewing machine that old ladies used to use. Then we have the skirt under here that is also from cotton wool, and it was also traditionally sewn by hand. So everything that you see here is by hand. Then we have on the feet, they used to wear leather boots or opinci that you have right there, which were traditional Romanian shoes made from leather. Then we have the male costume that was also used for traditional, for celebration days. And on the head they used to wear this wool hat, and every man back in the day used to wear it no matter what. Then we also have the shirt, which was also sewn with red and black thread. And we can find here also geometrical astral motifs. You can hear it right here. We have an hourglass, as you can see it, and the rhombus that you can see on the front and here on the arm. Then we have the itzar, the traditional men pants that were made from basic white cotton cloth that was homemade. Then we have this shtergar, which is also sewn by hand with metallic thread or red thread. And this shtergar was usually worn on the wedding day by the groom. And it was a very traditional piece for the wedding. Then the men also used to wear leather boots or opinci. They were for both the men and the ladies. This is all. I hope you enjoyed it. And
thank you, Diana. You made a good presentation of this costume, a very interesting costume from here, from Kavala region. And we will continue with to watch some dances, Romanian popular dances, and this will be presented by Maria. Please, Maria, to say some words about the dances we will continue to be.
Hello everybody, we are gathered here today to talk about Romanian values, and as a next act we will show you some traditional dances. The dance club has three dances. First, Cioponașul, which is a lively and epic dance from Romania, inspired by Western life. Next, we have a suite of Moldovan dances, including the hora, a circle dance symbolizing community unity, and the sârba, fast and energetic, reflecting joy. Finally, the sârba from Romania, a lively and cheerful dance, often performed at weddings and celebrations.
It is to be said that these peoples who will dance were coordinated by teacher Monica Rotaru. It is a kind of dance teacher in our school. Please get up on the scene.
Sufre, non sai, io lascio, non posso
Congratulations. The old and the new met each other. And the truth is that today at the weddings there are no instruments, no interpretations, and we watched how it was dances in the office and some artistic representations from nowadays. And it will follow a moment, a quick moment, but this time the protagonists will be our friends from Greece. So please come here on the scene with your costume, with your forestiers, please. And somebody, Vasilis, εσύ να παρουσιάσει μας τις στολές σας ή έχουμε εδώ beside me. Your name is Stavroula to present you this costume from Croatia.
So firstly there are two Greek traditional clothes. They are from Macedonia, a region which is called Episcopi. They are the normal, not the one for weddings. This is the one for females and this is the one for males. And then there is the other couple, which is from Kavala, a place in northeast Romania, which now belongs to Bulgaria. This is the female and this is the male. And then, after that, we will dance for you 3 dances. The first one is called Domal and it is from Pontus. The second one is called Hasapiko and it is from Gracia. And the third one is Zonoradiko from Fright.
I say Pontus is a region now in Turkey, at the south of the Lyceum. Gracia is a region again in Turkey today. on the shore of Aregele. And the other is in Bulgaria, historical region of Tricila. Please. Please sit down. Sit down, please. It's not just. Please stand up. Stand up. To dance again. To dance, Romanian dance, hora. Horos. This dance. Romania has a dance named hora. Please, to dance together again, one more dance. Please now. Please now sit down. To finish this moment on the last day of our training. Please sit down. And classes, we finished the activity, the program of this day, but we finished, unfortunately, all the activity we had this week. And I would like the final word not to be mine, to be to our guest, Lyceul Tehnologic Constantin Cantacuzino, High Technological School, Constantin Cantacuzino Baicoi, represented by General Manager Silvia Constantin, and then teachers who visited us this week in Romania, here in Kavala, Baicoi. Please, Ms. Silvia Constantin.
Mulțumesc! Eu am să vă împărtășesc câteva sentimente și gânduri pe care le-am trăit chiar acum.
Εγώ θα σας πω σαν σκέψεις, σαν αισθήματα που τα έχω.
Mă gândeam ce face să aducă oamenii împreună. Pentru că astăzi am văzut oameni minunați.
Σκέφτηκα ποιο είναι το πράγμα που ενώνει τους ανθρώπους.
Și cred că iubirea de oameni este cea care ne-a unit în această săptămână.
Νομίζω ότι είναι η αγάπη που μας ένωσε την εβδομάδα αυτή.
Mă gândesc ce emoții am avut luni când vă așteptam, emoțiile necunoscutului.
Σκέφτηκα τι emotions είχα την Δευτέρα, when σας περιμένα.
Iar acum am emoții încă se tem.
Και τώρα πάλι έχω emotions ότι τελειώνει όλα.
Sper că ați trăit momente frumoase la noi în România, așa cum le-am trăit noi alături de voi în această săptămână.
Ελπίζω ότι περάσατε πολύ καλά κοντά μας, όπως και εμείς περάσαμε κοντά σας τη εβδομάδα.
Și dacă ați venit la noi să ne împărtășiți un proiect despre istorie.
Και αν ήρθατε σε εμάς να μας πείτε, να μας ωφελείτε, να μας δώσετε ένα project istorico.
Să fiți convinși că împreună am scris și noi o filă în istoria școlii voastre și a liceului nostru.
Να είστε ότι και εμείς γράψαμε ένα φύλλο στην ιστορία του σχολείου σας και στη...
Mă emoționează lacrimile voastre și n-aș vrea să plâng că tot ce e frumos se termină repede, pentru...
Συγκινήθηκα από τα δάκρυα σας και δεν θέλω να κλάψω γιατί όλα που είναι ωραία τελειώνει γρήγορα.
Pentru că dacă ne-ați cunoscut, nu mai scăpați de noi.
Γνωρίσαμε και τώρα θα είμαστε πάντα μαζί σας.
Și vom face tot ce ne este posibil să venim și noi să vă cunoaștem țara și școala.
Προσπαθούμε όσο έρθουμε και εμείς εσάς να γνωρίζουμε το σχολείο σας και τη χώρα σας.
Dacă m-am adresat vouă, dragilor, acum este momentul să mă adresez profesorilor voștri.
Τώρα να πω μερικά λόγια ειδικά για τους καθηγητές σας.
Să vă mulțumesc pentru că ne-ați permis să fim partenerii dumneavoastră.
Να σας ευχαριστώ γιατί μας διαλέξατε να είμαστε οι συνέτεροι σας.
Și nu în ultimul rând vreau să-i mulțumesc domnului profesor Ștefănucă Sebastian, fără de care această experiență n-ar fi fost posibilă. Și vă rog să-l aplaudați.
Εμένα είναι...
Am intrat în acest proiect.
Δεν μπορώ να μεταφράσω, εγώ είμαι... Δεν ξέρω πώς...
A fost pentru noi o experiență unică.
Bye bye. Μια μοναδική εμπειρία ήταν εμάς, ήταν η αυτό είναι η ονομασία.
Dacă n-ar fi fost dumnealui, n-ați fi fost voi aici alături de noi astăzi.
Όταν δεν θα ήμουν εγώ, θα δεν ήσασταν εσύ εδώ.
Personal mă consider mai bogată pentru că v-am cunoscut.
Προσωπικά είναι κάπως πιο πλούσια ότι σας γνώρισα.
Cred că și copiii mei de la liceu sunt în asentimentul meu pentru că au creat relații cu elevii din Grecia.
Και νομίζω και τα παιδιά μου από το Λύκειο μου είναι, σκέφτονται και αισθάνονται όπως εμένα.
Relații care sunt convinsă că vor sparge orice barieră a comunicării, chiar dacă vorbim limbi diferite.
Τις σχέσεις που δημιουργήσαμε θα σπάσουν κάθε εμπόδιο μεταξύ μας.
Mulțumesc din suflet pentru tot, felicitări pentru ceea ce faceți.
Ευχαριστώ από την ψυχή μου για όλα, συγχαρητήρια για ό,τι κάνετε.
Și trebuie să facem o poză, nu?
Και λέει να κάνουμε και μια φωτογραφία.
Aici, pe scenă, cu toată lumea.
Να μιλάει πάλι.
Și aduceți!
Να μιλάει πάλι και...
Nu plecați, dragilor, rămâneți pe noapte.
Nu plecați, încă un minut, da? Să chem și cu o poză să o spunem și pe doamna din Grecia, să putem din Grecia și după aceea să vedem.
Un moment, vedeți ce înseamnă comunicarea care traducea mie în greacă. Și eu mă uitam la voi să mă ajutați că nu înțelegeam.
Κυρία Μαρία, μου φαίνεται, εσείς είστε.
I would like to thank you on behalf of our school, and we are very grateful for meeting you, and during this week it was an amazing experience. The project Rigas Ferraios is only a pretext in order to know each other, to exchange cultural and all the other emotions that we felt during this week. It was great being here, and we would like to continue this project based on the steps of Rigas Ferraios. We would like to expand this project in the next years. We would like to visit Budapest and Vienna and Belgrade, and perhaps you as well will be with us, maybe with the European project. We wish you all the best in your effort to have European accreditation, and we hopefully see you again in Greece and of course in the other countries. Thank you very much for your work.
Now please, să urcăm cu toții pe scenă, στην εξέδρα, να κάνουμε, să facem μια fotografie, να κάνουμε μια fotografie.
Smile, please.